2 of the fall garden cleanup, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove all of these T-posts. I have this T-post remover. It is really helpful. It's pretty wet out here and we might get some sinkage, but I'll show you what it looks like. Gotta put your back into it, folks. Alright, one down. This T-post does not want to come out. Help! Woo! Oh, you guys. Check it out. No wonder this thing wouldn't come out of the ground. Look at that. The whole thing is bent down. We've got 2 down, 8 to go. Hopefully the other ones are a little easier. All right, we've got all the T-posts out. And now we will be moving on to this bed here. We're going to just get the weeding done and then we will jump right into planting the garlic. All right, the weeds are all gone and the next step is to hoe up the ground. We're going to want to break up the soil to about 6 to 8 inches deep. So I'm going to get started with that, and then we will be amending the soil, so we'll put in some compost and some fertilizer. Then we can finally pop those garlics into the ground. The hoeing has been done and the soil has been smoothed out. Now we need to add some compost. Here's some fresh compost, and we want to include some fertilizer. This fertilizer here is not what I normally use. I typically mix my own, but because of COVID, I haven't been able to get the components separately that I need. This is a standard organic vegetable fertilizer. And I don't measure it, just get, just put it on like so. And then you're going to want to just mix it in. Mix it in really good, about, probably 4 or 5 inches down. And then we're going to just layer that on top of the bed. The fertilizer has all been mixed in, and we're going to put approximately 2 inches of compost on top of the soil that's already here. Okay, once you get your compost and your fertilizer in, you want to mix it up really well. Hi! Alright, we have the compost and the fertilizers in. It's all smoothed out and ready to go. I just want to tell you a little bit about garlic before we get it planted. These here are both hard neck garlic, and you can tell the difference between a hard neck garlic and a soft neck by the neck. It's pretty self-explanatory. We are going to be planting hard neck garlic. It's cold hardy. We live in zone 8B here. You can plant soft neck garlic as well, but you'll want to mulch it. With the hard neck, we don't have to mulch it. You can if you want to. I'm just going to plant it about 4 inches deep, and then that'll protect it from the winter well enough. So a couple of differences between the hard neck and the soft neck. And the hard neck garlic has larger cloves on the bulb. This, although it tastes wonderful and it looks beautiful, it's not going to store as well as a soft neck would. So if you're looking for a garlic that you can store for quite some time, then you might want to consider growing soft-neck garlic. One very fascinating thing about the hardneck garlic, and these are both hardneck, is they grow scapes. And if you don't know what a scape is, Google that real quick, because scapes they're pretty and they taste delicious. And when they grow, you will want to cut them off and take them in your house and saute them into whatever you're eating. And that will allow the energy of the plant to go toward growing larger bulbs. And you get a snack to go with it. All right, another thing about garlic, hardneck or softneck, you want to plant it in October, about 2 to 3 weeks before your first hard frost. So last year, where I live, we had our first hard frost October 8th, and this year that's not going to happen. We're pretty warm right now, and I'm not worried about getting a hard frost anytime in the next 2 weeks. So if it's mid-October for you, then that's just fine. Don't worry about it. Plant your garlic. It's not too late at all. And when you plant it, you want to leave your garlic on the bulb until you're ready to plant it. And you'll just break them apart, break the cloves off, and you want to leave the paper on it. Don't pull the paper off. This clove of garlic here is one that my friend Chaz gave me from his garden, and so I'm super excited. I don't remember what variety it is. It's a lot smaller than this one, which is a music garlic that initially my friend Amanda gifted me, and so I've been growing this for the last few years. I'm excited to try this one, whatever it may be. Alright, so when you're planting garlic, you want to plant them pointy side up. Pointy side up. And they want to be about 6 inches apart. About 4 inches down if you're in a cold climate. Oh hey, check it out. I got a potato. I had potatoes here in the spring. I guess I didn't dig them out very well. Alright, pointy side up. Just pop it down there about 4 inches. Cover it up. And that's it. If you're super cold climate or you're planting soft neck garlic, go ahead and put some straw over the top. Or if you just want to, you can anyway. Alright, now that you have all of your garlic laid out, it's ready to go. Pointy side up, remember? And then you're just going to want to, I find it, you can dig it with your hands, but since I'm doing about 3.5, 4 inches deep, I like to use a shovel because it just, spares my hands the extra pain. And just dig down and stuff it all the way to the bottom of the hole, cover it up. And you can get this done pretty darn fast with a spade, this little tiny one. If you're doing it by hand, it might be a little bit harder. It's been kind of rainy here, so my soil is a little bit wet. And once we get all of these in the ground, we're just going to want to water them in. Now that the garlic has been planted and you've replaced your irrigation lines, it's time to decide if you want to mulch or if you want to just leave it as it is. So for me, and where I live, I'm going to leave it as it is. I am not going to water it in with the irrigation though. I'm going to bring the hose over, give it a good soak, and then I'm going to walk away from this bed, and I am only going to check on it about once a month or so just to make sure there's no weeds in it. And we'll be ready to harvest this garlic next summer. It really is not going to require a whole lot of attention from us other than water it when the weather gets warm and keep the weeds out of the bed.